So I'm gonna record. And did it not get up there? I mean,
Did not, it was TV.
thanks. Try flipping to computer or Blu-ray. No, no, sorry. No. Okay. No, I gotta plug it in. I don't know why it's not letting me air pass to it anymore.
I think there's another. Don't have to put it on that meeting.
No. But this will be in which HDMI does it to? No, that's it should something else in there.
There's another one.
I'll use three. It might,
Yeah.
but I just don't know which one's labeled. I think it's labeled Blu-ray. Possibly. All right, guys. Technical difficulties. Now it pops up. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, good morning. Today's class is actually, it's a doing class. So it's activity based. So what I passed out, I'm going to start with, I'm going to go over ideas for your marketing plan and things to think about and why. And then we're actually going to put some ideas down on paper and start to build out your marketing plan for the year. So what I handed out to you, I gave you a couple things. We're going to start with the remember the goals sheet. Remember the goal. And then I also passed out this 3-page 2025 marketing plan document. That's the one we're actually going to be working in. These other two are for you kind of for the future. And these are really cool resources that I actually downloaded from Tom Ferry, from a resource that Tom Ferry sent out. And if you guys aren't signed up for Tom Ferry's newsletters and emails and updates and things like that, I would definitely recommend logging on and signing up for them because he sends out these really great resources that you can actually use and implement. So this one came through from Tom Ferry, and it was one of his top producers. And she basically gives you her plan for closing 2 million GCI, gross commission income, not sales volume, gross commission income in 1 year. Now she's a team. So some of this is not necessarily going to apply to you guys that's in this sheet, but this is what I got from that download from Tom Ferry. And it's her activity tracking workbook. So you can see down at the bottom, I've got all of her tabs. So it goes through her plan, which is what I printed out on this first sheet for you that says recap and goal. This is her plan. So this is her as a top producing, top closing team leader. This is her marketing plan. So this is what she uses in her marketing. So you'll notice for the first and foremost, I think what's most important about this whole system that she has, and I can email this out to you guys or share it with you, is that she tracks, right? She sets goals and she tracks her goals all the time, consistently. And I was going to send this to you because I think there's some great things in here that our Zillow team agents can utilize. But each of these sheets, so her agents have to track. So she requires her team agents to track these items consistently. So she tracks everything from to-do activities. So I don't know if you guys remember, I taught a class a while ago. We learned doing, and done, right? I think we learned that. I think that might have been a Tom Ferry or a Brian Buffini item, but to create your whiteboard in 3 columns, things that are to do, things that you are actively doing, and things that are done. And then you move the little check marks or the little magnets or whatever you use from column to column as you complete those items. But the tracking, however you choose to track, some people are more digital and this works better for them. Other people are more paper or whiteboard. What's in front of you, you will pay attention to, right? But she tracks everything from listing appointments, how many each quarter, quarter 1, quarter 2, and then her daily scorecard for the week. So each agent is responsible for tracking how many buyer brokers they got signed, how many buyer consults they went on, new customers that they met, showings they did each week, right? All the way through their pipeline. So I think this is really important because a lot, and then her referrals, how many referrals she's getting and sending. But a lot of agents don't track their business and track their goals. So they have no idea whether they're anywhere within the metric of meeting their goals. So that's why I think I liked these two sheets. So the two that I handed out to you guys that were relevant to today are this first one here, which lets you track all of your measurables for the year, right?
Is the recap what I did last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. So recap would be last year's numbers. Your goal would be this year's numbers. You're welcome. And then, so you're going to break down each column. So buyer volume, listing volume. Now, obviously some of these you're going to take out because you don't have team leader applicable, but buyer's average price, listing average price, percentage buyers, percentage of sellers. So those that do business planning with me know that this is exactly the metrics that I go through with you. So I break this down for you so you know what your volume looked like and where it was coming from. And then we go one step farther and we actually do your percentage of lead team volume and your percentage of self-generated volume to see what those numbers look like as well. How many rentals you did, how many buyers you did, how many listings you did. So it's just a great tool for you to measure your metrics against last year's numbers. On the right-hand side breaks down lead sources. And I put this in here because this is a great thing to take a look at and pay attention to when we're talking about marketing for this year, right? So this gives you an idea of all of the different places that you can capture leads from that you want to make sure you're taking advantage of. So when you're building out your marketing plan, each one of these areas of opportunity need to be covered in your marketing plan. So every month you need to be setting a goal of how you're marketing to or what you're working on in each of these areas of lead sources that you want to get buyer leads or seller leads from. So the first section is Zillow, right? Zillow Flex. That's an easy one because we have that same tool, right? Not every broker, not every agent can say that they have that lead opportunity. But Zillow Flex, are you taking advantage of it? Do you want to take advantage of it? If you have not yet, there is opportunity, tremendous opportunity there. So we need help on that platform. Realtor.com, if you're doing that, we don't really recommend buying Realtor.com leads anymore. They're just, you're going to spend a lot of money and they're not going to be great leads. But are you on Opcity? Maybe that's Opcity buyers and sellers. And then below that are other sources. So these are other sources that this particular agent, team leader, is utilizing. Sync, you could just replace out with, and Boomtown with KV Core, because that's pretty much their CRM tool. So she must be doing boosted ads or paying for leads through those two systems. Agent Finder, these are all lead systems that we do in the office, that we offer in the office as well. Google Sellers, so these are Google ads. So either landing, and you can see further down, she's got landing pages, YouTube leads, mailers, door knocking, which is why I love this. She has on here door knocking, sphere of influence, past client, which you could call the same, but she breaks them out separate. Agent to agent referrals received, which is a marketing source, guys. And if you're not paying attention to that and utilizing that as an area of opportunity for yourself, you're missing out on opportunity. So Cindy, for you in particular, I know you go, and Ruth Ann through Women's Council. If you guys are going to conferences out of state, how are you marketing yourself for referrals? If you've been to a conference out of state, you've noticed other realtors doing what? Giving out something, right? Whether it's little candy packs or snack bags, or, I mean, I have my keychain, this keychain right here, this little wooden keychain that says blessed, Psalm 19:1. This was from and I don't know who anymore because her contact information was on a paper card that was attached to it. But this was a gift at a conference from another realtor from another state. She put it on everybody's seat in the morning session, the breakfast tables. No, go ahead. Yes,
People contact me, say,
yes.
you know, that's good.
Yep. Yep, exactly. And so that's a great opportunity, if that is available, communicating through that app. But I mean, if as you get like Ruth Ann's involved in Women's Council and she's on the board, but I was just on our national liaisons meeting yesterday with Kathy Heshmat from Texas. Kathy Heshmat said, aside from the positive benefits that it brings to the industry and it's helped her grow in her leadership, her number one reason for participating in Women's Council is for the leads that she gets from across the country. She said, the moment that my time input, the value of my time input outweighs the monetary output that I get from participating in the organization, she said, then my volunteership ends. She said, because our time is so limited. And I thought that was tremendously bold of her to say, because it takes a lot of people don't like to admit why they're in a volunteer position in their industry, right? They like to say, well, I'm in it to help improve the industry, or I'm in it for to help promote the bills, and I want to get involved in the politics of it to help promote our industry and protect okay, that's fine and great. But you have one main goal in your real estate career, I'm guessing, for every one of you, and it is not philanthropy, right? It is not to donate your time and your money and give it all away. It's to what? To make money, to grow your business and to make more money. That's bottom line, plain and simple. So you need to be, when you're working on your plan for this year, your goals and your marketing plan, and you're deciding where you're going and how you're going to allot your time investment, it is an investment, right? Your time is worth money. And for those that were in my December business planning class, I told you, we calculated the value hourly rate of your time. For some of you, it's $200 an hour. For some of you, it's $300 or $400 an hour. So when you devote, say it's 20 hours of your time this year to being on a board position, and that's on the low end, right? But if you devote 20 hours of your time and your billable hourly rate is $300 an hour, how much money did you just donate to that organization, right? Because that's 20 hours of your time that you're taking away from building and growing your real estate business, unless you're being intentional about your volunteerism, right? So whether it's recruiting agents, if that's part of your goal, or whether it's, no, you're fine, making contacts to build your sphere of influence or your referral-based business, then that's great. But you really want to be, and Cindy, for you in particular, because now you're the only one in the room with me, other than Jim, your time for real estate is how much, right? Like it's a slice of your pie. It's not the whole pie, but it's an even smaller slice of your pie than Ruth Ann or somebody that doesn't have a dual career taking up some of their time. So you want to be really intentional and really specific with your time. You always want to be time blocking and budgeting in time for your marketing, for your prospecting, because that's how you're going to grow your business.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I have somebody who wants to come on too.
I'm on. Oh. Thank you. Good morning, Millicent. So this sheet is really important, especially for you. I would say go, take a look at these ideas I'm going to give you today, and you really want to figure out what can you automate, what can you do, and what should you be doing at a bare minimum to be investing time and energy into growing your real estate business and targeting who you want to target. So, I mean, for you, for everybody, first and foremost, your sphere of influence, your database should be the top item on your marketing list every month. So that's where this sheet, remember, the goal is to stay top of mind comes in. So if I get to that, so the goal is to stay top of mind. So with your database, first and foremost, every single month, you want to stay top of mind. And some agents have come in and they've said, and I'll tell you, some of our top producers that came in and killed it in a year or year and a half had zero database in Maryland because either they had just moved here, they were military who got transplanted here and retired here, but they had zero database. So I don't want you to get hung up on the numbers in your database because there's ways to grow your database. And there's a great resource. If you haven't read Ninja Selling, the book Ninja Selling, I highly recommend it to everybody. But in there is an entire section, an entire chapter on ways to grow your database and ways to find people to add to your database. So whether you have a huge database or really small database, it doesn't matter because your goal is staying top of mind. So if I have 20 people in my database that I have really good relationships with, and I'm marketing to those 20 people every single month and staying top of mind, each one of those 20 people know at a minimum 20 more people, right? So I just took my database and I just multiplied it 20 squared, right? So that's the goal of marketing to your database. It's for the referral-based business. It's not so much for those 20 people. You know, how many houses are these 20 people realistically going to buy or sell this year? Maybe only one if I'm lucky. But how many people do those 20 people know that might be thinking about buying or selling a house this year? So your messaging is tremendously important. Always communicating that you're never too busy for referrals and that your business is built by referrals. So that's the Buffini system. Have you taken Buffini? You've taken it. Okay. So we're launching it again at the end of this month. So anybody that wants to come back through and sit back through it again can sit back through it. It's going to be on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. But it's a great refresher. But I recommend the Ninja Selling book as well to get started and really focus on building your database. From there, once you have your people and you know who your people are, how are you marketing to them? What is the system that you're using? And making it systematized will make it that much easier. Cass, that second pile is 3 pages. Just make sure you grab all.
This one.
Yep. No, you're good. Just want to make sure you grab all 3. So how do you stay top of mind? So this little one-sheeter gives you kind of a quick rundown of the easiest ways to stay top of mind with your database through consistency. So the system that you use is important, whether it's Follow Up Boss, KV Core, or your own system that you've created or built out or, signed up for, whatever that looks like. But making sure that those people are in a database and that they are categorized based on who they are, right? So KV Core, we really like, and Follow Up Boss, because you can add hashtags to your people. So you can actually sort and market specifically to specific people based on who they are. Past clients, sphere of influence, top referrers. So if you have somebody that's referred to you, a client, a buyer, or a seller, hashtag them referrer or top referrer or whatever, however you want to hashtag them. So building your database, there's a lot of great easy ways to build your database. If you know people own a house and you don't know their mailing address, where's the first free, easiest way to look that information up? MLS, the MLS or SDIT. Yeah. But in the MLS, well, yeah, you're right. It's not free, but you don't have to pay anything extra than what you're already paying.
Suddenly like, okay, new stuff.
No, MLS was where I was thinking, but SDIT is another one too. So, but SDIT, you need to at least know the county that they live in, right? Which I guess if you know these people really well, most of them, you should know at least the county that they live in. Bright MLS, under public records, you can look up public records based on their last name and any properties that they own. So compiling your database this time of year, if you didn't already do it in quarter four is really the time to do it. But now you want to be cleaning your database, updating and cleaning up your database, right? Going through there, is there anybody that needs to be moved from C or B category up to A or A+ category in the Buffini system? Is there anybody that was A or A plus or B that needs to be moved down to C or D for deleted? Are all of your clients from 2024 in your database? So making sure you've got all of them in there with updated information. I would recommend that when you're working with clients, have a one-sheeter, an intake sheet, questionnaire form that you use when you meet with them one of the first times, or you ask them to submit it to you after the first couple meetings. But on there, here's what you're going to ask. Their name, right? That's an easy one. Email, date of birth, or at least month and day of birth. You don't necessarily need the year, but if you're getting their driver's license, you can also get the year, right? Children's names, pets' names, favorite restaurant, favorite hobby or favorite TV show, whatever, right? These are ways for you guys to get to know them so that then you can send relevant gifts or information or whatever you want, however you're going to market to them, it can be relevant to who they are. But you can't do that if you don't know who they are. Do they drink? Do they non-drink? Right? That you can ask that. So you know whether to give them champagne or wine or whether to give them something different, right? So just, anniversary, if they're married, anniversary. All of those things should and can go into your database. So KV Core has fields for all of those items, and it'll set up alerts for you. Or you can set up a campaign automatically to send things out for you on any of those particular dates that you want them to go out. Home purchase anniversary date needs to go in your database as soon as they close on a transaction. And then you want to set them up on an annual home purchase anniversary card or e-card campaign, right? These are just simple ways that you can stay top of mind and touch base with them. So they recommend how many touch points a year to stay top of mind with a person, with somebody in your sphere of influence, not a stranger, but somebody in your database. How many touch points?
Like 30.
How many did you say? What did you say? 12, what'd you say?
Just like
32.
ask.
They say 32 touch points a year to stay top of mind. It's more than twice a month, but break it down.
Got their birthday.
Mhm. Yep. So if you're doing a monthly email campaign, a monthly or a mailer, monthly mailer, there's 12 right there, right? So that's 12. Their birthday is 13. If they bought a home, if not, you can leave that one out. But if they bought a home, there's 14. And then what else can you add in? What should you be?
Notes,
Holiday card.
personal notes.
Yes, a holiday card once a year is 15. Seasonal. Yeah, exactly. And then your handwritten note cards, right?
What about this pop?
Popeyes count. So if you're doing
Or anything.
any touch point, phone calls, right? How many times a year should you be calling through your database at a minimum? Jim, how many times a year should they call through their database at a minimum? Quarterly, yeah. Popeyes, quarterly. At least your A plus and A people, right? Not everybody in your database. And when I say Popeye, I mean face to face, like I'm showing up at your doorstep with a Popeye. What's that?
Not hanging it and running.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the goal of the Popeye is the person-to-person interaction, showing them it's the unexpected extra, right? Showing up on their doorstep with a little gift, a small token of your appreciation for their support of your business this year. So that's why it's called a pop by. You're popping by their house, you're dropping something off, showing them a little bit of extra love, because these are going to be your top tier people, your A plus and A people in your database. You could do puffy mail or lumpy mail, right? I like to call it lumpy mail, which is mail that is tactile. It's an envelope, and I'd recommend a bright colored envelope. Cassie's really good at doing this very consistently. And inside is something of thickness that they can feel, right? It's maybe it's a packet of hot chocolate, a packet of lemonade, which I know Cassie's done, or Kool-Aid, or it could be, some people have even put things just like a rubber band, just a rubber band in there. And in the letter, you're going to mention the rubber band. I know you're wondering why there's a rubber band in here, right? And come up with whatever cute reason you want, but it's just the purpose of having it feel like there's something inside. People, yes, curiosity, people cannot resist the the curiosity of, oh, what's in here? Is it a gift? Like, what is it? Is something valuable? So it can be fun, different things. It could be packages of conversation hearts. One little package of conversation hearts at around Valentine's Day, or a seed packet in the spring, right? There's so many things that are thin and light that you can get away with first class mail to make it tactile, to make people want to open that mailer. So that's not necessarily a pop by, but it is something that you're sending out to them, a little unexpected extra that's going to get them to open that mailer. There is a little, you guys can read the Facebook Messenger tip on how to get people's contact information through Facebook. So if you have people you're connected with in Facebook, you can just send this out. Some people have texted this out. So as opposed to going through Messenger or Instagram Messenger, they actually text it out. And it doesn't, obviously you're going to tweak it to you. So it wouldn't necessarily say I'm now a licensed real estate agent with Hyatt and Company, although you could say that, right? Because you could say, I know you may have known me as an agent with Exit Results Realty for the last X amount of years. We have now rebranded and I'm now a licensed realtor with Hyatt and Company Real Estate. Same leadership, same ownership, same great company, new name, right? Whatever you want to say. But I just want to remind you that throughout the year, I send gifts to my database. So I want to make sure all my friends and family are, how easy is this, right? To tweak and to send out. And because you said, I send gifts to my database, you're going to increase the likelihood of people responding, because why? People like to get what? Gifts. People love to get gifts, right? And then again, it says, in the meantime, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell, I'd love to help. Please don't hesitate to give out my contact information. And then you could either attach the link to your Popple business card, your digital business card through Popple, or you could actually send a picture of your business card, however you want to put your contact information in there. A link to your website, a QR code. Yep. Social media posts. So we give you monthly social media posts. So this is another great way to get in front of people. But you can't assume, I wouldn't count this as one of your touch points, because you can't assume that people are going to see it just because they're friends with you on social media, right? There's a lot of people that don't check it that often. It drops to the bottom. Unless you're creating a story where you can see who's seeing it, or you're putting it into Instagram up at the top under, what are those called? At the top of Instagram, the notes. No, when you go into Instagram and you go to Instagram Messenger, up at the top, notes, where you can create a note for people to see. And you can actually create groups on who you want to see that note. So you can create a group and you can put people in that group that are all specifically sphere of influence people that you want to see that note. So the social media posts, I just want to remind you guys, oh, and did I just shut my drive? Nope, I didn't. I just want to remind you guys that we put out every month, courtesy of our mortgage team, the social media posts by month. So if you scroll all the way down under S, social media posts by month, and then every month. So here's January 2025. They're usually in there by the last week or the last day of the previous month for the following month. So here was January. So these are all January social media posts customized with our brokerage logo on them. And all you have to do is download them and upload them to your social media. I know, right? National Hangover Day.
They did here, and scroll up all the way to the top where she had the caption. I really appreciated that because it's something cute, catchy.
Yes.
Actually,
Yep.
yeah.
Thanks,
I
Cass,
use
for
a
reminding me.
lot. So I'm getting a lot more. Like for my for social media, I get how many people that I'm reaching, and I have and I've been reaching a lot more people.
Nice. That's awesome. Thank you. So, and notice so these captions that were crafted They all have little emojis already built in there for you. So you literally can copy and paste straight over to your social media. You can access this drive on your cell phone. So if you're working from your cell phone and you're posting to Instagram first, you can open the drive, you copy the caption, you move it over, you post it into Instagram with the caption, the photo that goes along with it. And I'll show you how to make sure that they line up. And then post. And if you have it linked to your Facebook, it's automatically pushing it over to your Facebook for you as well. But the way that these captions are all crafted, notice there's a question on pretty much every single one, because you want to get engagement, right? You want to try to get people to respond and engage with your social media posts. That's how you're going to get more views on your posts. And it's going to keep popping back up to people's feeds when other people comment in there. When people comment in your feed, make sure you respond to their comments. So if they answer your question, don't just let it keep running and like or whatever. Actually go in and respond to them. Say, oh my gosh, Cindy, that's my favorite too. Or thank you for sharing that shortbread recipe. I'm going to have to give it a try. Or you know what I mean? Your bird moment of the day. Oh my gosh, I love that bird. Respond to them. Engage with them, because then it's going to pop back up in their feed. So where you went from them seeing it once, now they're going to see it again, right? And then as other people respond, everybody starts to see everybody's comments as well.
But do you know, like, on within a certain time, tell you haven't responded.
On your business page, right? Yeah, on your business page. Yeah.
It's like, no,
On your personal too?
both of my pages.
Okay.
They're like, you have not
Nice.
responded.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. So the way that this database works is, so notice the 6 in front of National Shortbread Day. That is for January 6th was National Shortbread Day. So you want to, I bless their hearts. Somebody went in here and just picked the ones that they liked and was posting them all willy-nilly, randomly on social media. And I'm like, bless your little heart. But National Popcorn Day was the 19th, not the 30th. So let's get that right. So the number in front of it corresponds with the day of the month that post goes with. And then down at the bottom, you'll see some that don't have a day on them. These are ones that can be posted anytime. So you might decide, well, I don't really want just national this day every week. I want to mix in some other things. If you see how Truth About Down Payments has 6 posts, there's 2 different ways you could use that. You could use it to break it up over 6 days and say the truth about down payments, visit me tomorrow, and start with number 1, or 5 days. So I would do the photo, and day 1 would be tip number 1, right? So I could do that for the first week of the month on Monday, or tip Tuesday, whatever you want to do. And then on the second, and then I'm going to say, stay tuned for tip 2 next week, right? And I could break it out like that. Or you could put all 6 in a post together to where they slide and they see all 6 of those posts, right? So it's all 6 of the posts. So it's up to you how you want to use that, but those are there for you as well. Tips to help you save for buying a home. So there's just 4 tips right there. So a lot of great content in here for you guys to use, in addition to what KV Core already has built in for you. So if you guys are using KV Core, I want to show you in KV Core, if you go to social, so up at the top, if you search for social and you go to Core Social, this is hands-off automated social media posting that you set up one time and you forget about it. Forget about it. You don't ever have to go in again and do it. So in here, what you're going to do is you're going to first go into your settings and preferences. Notice this is my Core Social. On the right, it has connections. It's showing me what's connected. My Facebook and my LinkedIn are automatically connected right now. Well, are connected right now. If I go into settings and preferences, this is where I decide where and what and how often I want KV Core posting to social media for me. So you want to pay attention to this, because you're going to build your posts in between when these posts go out, right? So the first one is your social media connections. You're going to click on edit, and then you're going to make sure that you have them connected. So all you do is click connect, hit confirm, hit continue, continue, and it's going to ask you what pages you want. Well, I can close that one. Connect LinkedIn, and then you have to tell it to allow posting on which pages you want it to post on, right? So if you have multiple pages, it's going to show them all. You pick the ones you want it to post on. And then my LinkedIn, I'm going to click connect. If you're already logged in on your internet browser to these apps, then it should automatically connect you or log you in. So it's processing. Hopefully it works. Once you do that, you want to make sure you hit save. I don't want to waste everybody's time. But this should be one of your items on your marketing plan, right? So on your marketing plan, this is where you're going to lay out your touch points, all of them. So now if I hit save, okay, so it says it's got me linked. The next category is your articles. So in here, you're going to pick what content you want to post and when. So notice I get to pick my schedule. So if I know I do Motivational Monday myself, or I do Thankful Thursday or Tip Tuesday, whatever it is, I'm not going to tell KV Core to post on that same day, right? Because I'm already posting on those days. So I'm going to pick the days when I know I'm not posting, whether that's Fridays, Sundays, whatever it might be. And it's automated. So now I have a post going out once or twice, however many days a week you want it to go out. You pick your categories. You might not want food posts or architecture posts or photo, whatever. So you pick your topics that you want it to post for you. You can pick all of them if you want, and it's going to rotate through those topics on your post schedule. You're going to hit save settings. The next one is your holidays. Which holidays do you want the system to post for you? It's got the Canadian holidays. You can choose whether you want them or not. And so you're going to pick all your holidays or deactivate the ones you don't want and hit save settings. So now I have it set up for 2 days a week, automatic posts, plus 16 holidays a year on my social media pages. So this calendar is showing you what you have scheduled to go out and when. So you can see the gray ones are my just general articles. And then the holidays, so New Year's Day was a holiday post. And then over here, it's going to give you the recap of those posts. So I don't know why. Oh, because mine was deactivated. That's why. Mine was disconnected. So you should make it a habit to go in every so often. Ruth Ann, do you know, or Cassie, how often you have to go in and reconnect your social media?
I think it's like midnight. But you will get an email to tell you that.
Do you, that you have to reconnect?
Mine's about, but it tells you.
Oh, it tells you here. It's quarterly. So it's quarterly. So I just connected it today. So I'm good until March 8th. Okay.
You have 10 days for your social media.
Nice.
Can you reconnect on your setting of options?
Not your articles and your holidays. You just have to go in and hit edit, and you just have to reconnect. That's it. And pick
right
these.
from the email.
So your social media posts. So now that I'm reconnected, so if I go back, to last year, let me see if it'll show me, because I don't know when I expired, because I obviously have not been.
For some reason I see yours on here, not mine.
That's weird.
That's probably.
I don't know, but it's not showing me any engagement for whatever reason, but in theory, it should show you your engagement so you can see where you're getting the most engagement, which articles are getting the most engagement on each platform. So it's a pretty cool tool, and it's automated for you. The other thing you can do is you can set it up to post. You should be posting your listings to your social media as well when you have your listings going active. So in your listing marketing, so if I go in and I go to listings and I go to my listings and I go to listing marketing, that's where I can share and post my listings to my social media also. Okay. So, let me get back to so your social media posts. Birthday cards we talked about. Birthday cards are easy. They should go out to everybody in your database. You should be sending a birthday card out. I recommend sending a physical birthday card as opposed to an e-card, right? Because e-cards, one, can get caught in people's spam boxes. They may never even see them. Anybody can send an automated e-birthday card, right? And people know that it's automated. You can set it up to go out automated through kvCORE, that's fine. But I highly recommend that you send out a birthday card. The way you're going to do that, go to Amazon, buy those boxes of assorted greeting cards. They're pretty dirt cheap. They come out to like $1 or $1.25 a card when you buy them that way. And then at the beginning or the end of each month, this is how I do our birthday cards. So if you guys have gotten birthday cards from us, this is how we do them. At the beginning of every month, Brianna and Amanda pull the list for me of all the agents that have birthdays in that month. They hand me that many cards. I fill out all those cards for the whole month with dates on them of when they should be dropped in the mail. So it's a really easy way to get your birthday cards and do them for the month, as opposed to sit, and it takes you all of 20 minutes to do them for the whole, probably maybe even less if you only have 2 birthdays in that month, right? The cost of the card, your postage, 60, however many cents of postage. And then a cool little idea is send a $1 scratch off card as well. So go and buy a bunch of scratch offs and put a $1 scratch off card in each one. Just makes it fun, right? Do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do that. But it's a fun little tip. Your monthly mailers. So what are you sending out every month? Well, we've made that easy for you too. In the Google Agent Resource Drive, we have put in here for you every month the Buffini mailers, month by month. So if I go in and I go into the Buffini in the Hyatt and Company Agent Resource Drive, Buffini monthly items of value mailers. Here they are month by month for you, January 2025. So every month, Brianna goes in, pulls them down, and uploads them into the resource drive for you guys for free. Some agents pay. So I know Bob Fry, Dennis Bentley, whom I don't know who else is still doing them. The Buffini, Daryl does them. The Buffini monthly items, they pay Buffini every month to send them these mailers automatically in a kit. They have to go through still and print the letter, fold them, customize them to their clients in their database, and mail them out. But they order them. We put them in here for you guys for free. So we put in the English version and the Spanish version. So there's 2 pieces that go along with it. It's a cover letter. So you open up the cover letter. If you're using a database system, you can create this cover letter to be customized to your clients in kvCORE. So then you print them out and it has their name at the top, Dear Tina, dear. So you can do that if you want to, or use it just like this. But I would customize this and I would put it on create letterhead, Hyatt and Company letterhead, or your logoed letterhead, make it personal. I'll show you another way of doing these cover letters. You can actually make them designed in Canva. So if you want to use Canva, you can actually go in and create a really cute mailer for that season. So this is an example of one for winter, right? And so it's looking for the sweetest home buying experience. This is just an example. But if you were using the Buffini item of value, at the top, it would say the story of home ownership in the United States, right? And it would be on a cute designed image, letterhead, stationery, whatever you want to call it, which you can create in Canva. So to do that, all you're going to do is copy this. You're going to go over to Canva. And I'm going to look for winter Stationery.
So
Mm-hmm.
do they handwrite on the envelope or do they do like?
Depends on the person. Do you know what Daryl does? Does he do labels? Labels. I know whom actually pays somebody. He was paying Kayla for a long, I don't know if he still is or not, but he paid Kayla to do them for him and she would handwrite them. So it depends on what you want and how you're doing it. I would say most of the agents that are ordering them from Buffini are top producers, which should speak volumes to you guys in and of itself, that they do it every month. They're doing labels. So it's a lot of handwriting. Yeah, it's a lot of handwriting. Everybody if you're mailer, if you're doing a mail, well, you can decide. So it's up to you how many people you have in your database. If you have 10 A and A plus people or 20 A and A plus people, but you have 125 everybody people, what's your budget? Right? So when we're talking about your marketing plan, one of the first things you have to decide, and this was in business planning. So when you do your business plan, what is your monthly budget for your marketing? So whatever you decided your monthly budget was for your marketing in your business plan, that's going to dictate to you when you start to do your marketing plan, how many people you're mailing it out to. So if it's costing you the cost of, basically, envelopes and paper are so cheap. I don't even really count them in there, but if you're printing them yourselves, it's the postage, right? And maybe the printing, depending on how you're printing them. So the postage. So if I'm sending it to 100 people and it's costing me $1 a piece, it's $100 a month, right? So if my whole marketing budget for the month is $150, and I know I also need to do whatever else I might be doing, and it's going to depend on your month, right? So if we're doing quarterly Popeyes, that month, maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe you're, or maybe if you have $150 a month on average to budget and you're spending $100 every month on your mailer, those months that I have $50 left over, maybe I'm taking that and I'm doubling it up every other month and I'm doing my Popeyes and I'm doing whatever else I might be doing, right? My listing boosted ads or other marketing. So you really that's why you want to start with the business plan and your goal, because that's going to help you create your budget. And then from your budget, you're going to take that to implement your marketing plan and decide who and how many. So I know Daryl sends it out, I think, to like 165 people every month. So that's probably pretty much his A and A plus people. I don't know how many Bob Fry does. I know most of the agents get the kits that are 100 to 150 mailers in a kit. And they're sending them out to their top 150 people. So hopefully that answered your question. So in here, say, for example, this is the cute winter stationery that I like, right? This is Canva. Customize this template. There's a whole bunch of other ones. But if I pick this one, all I have to do is go in and change the contents, paste in my letter, and format my letter, right? This is not 8.5 by 11, but you guys get the picture. So I can create a really cute winter mailer cover letter in Canva if that's something that you want to do. So this is what this one looked like. It looks like stationery. The other thing you can do is if you create your stationery look for your monthly mailers, you could create it so that in Canva, so that all you have to do is change that top image. So maybe each month, all you're doing is changing the top image and maybe the color banner at the bar, if that's something that you want to change. But your bottom bar of your stationery, your cover letter, I would recommend this coordinating with your signature block that you're using on everything else. So if you're using a design signature block on your just listed, just sold posts or your open house posts or your social media posts at all, take that same bottom signature bar and apply it to the bottom of your stationery and use that same bottom bar every mailer that you create, right? So when we're talking about marketing, the things I want you to think about are the schedule, how often and what you're sending out every month, but then the consistency in your branding, right? I don't want you to lose the consistency of your branding. So I really like an idea like this, where the top image changes each month, but then this bottom bar stays the same every month, and it's your branded bar at the bottom every month. Does that make sense? Your logo, your labels, if you're creating labels, you can even brand your labels to yourself. So you could put your Cassie Dorsey logo, or if you have your own logo, that can go on your little return address mailing label with your name, Hyatt and Company Real Estate, and the office address, right? So now when people see that every month, they know that it's mailers from you. So going back to that one sheeter, so your monthly mailers. So in this, I'll just finish up in this drive with your monthly mailers. In here, your monthly mailers. So your item of value that goes along with the mailer is two-sided. So it is a two-sided color mailer. Please don't skimp on color and do not skimp on paper. I would recommend that if you're going to do the monthly mailers and you're going to print them yourselves, go out, go to Staples or go on Amazon and order, you know, just some maybe glossy printer paper or glossy brochure paper. It doesn't have to be thick. I wouldn't make it super thick. But I recommend printing them in color, and I recommend printing them on a little bit nicer paper. It makes a big difference. So it's two-sided, print it front and back, you know, not 2 pages, but front to back. And it goes in the envelope with the letter, folded in your envelope, mailed out to your clients. That's your monthly mailer. Make sense? If you don't like that one, if you don't like that month, I mean, that's up to you, but you can pick a different one. You could even go back a few years. So you'll notice we have January 2023 and 2024 in here. So as long as it's not dated, so if I go in and I pull up, but your letter needs to coordinate. See, this is what's ahead for the market. This is very specific, right? And it has a date at the bottom. So I would not use this one because it is specific to January 2023's housing market. But you could create your own mailer. If you don't like this one, then create one that you do like. And then again, what's ahead for the housing market. So they're both specific to that year for January. But they're all in here for you. So many different mailers for you to take advantage of. Also, you'll notice Buffini pop by tags. So while we're talking about pop buys, we've also loaded in here folders with all the different months or holidays of pop by tags. So you can go in and find one that you like based on the month that you want to send out a pop by for. So if I'm sending one out in Valentine's Day, there's a Valentine's Day folder. There's a St. Patrick's Day folder if you're doing them just quarterly. Maybe you don't want to do Valentine's Day, but you'd rather do St. Patrick's Day. So you go in here and you just find it and then put it with something that goes with that pop-by tag, right? So maybe it's a little bag of gold coins. Maybe it's a little bag of a little necklace, a little St. Patrick's Day clover necklace, whatever it might be. But the goal of this is to give out to your top. These are definitely just your A+ or your A people that are most likely to or have referred you out to somebody. All right. So your pop-by tags are in there for you guys. The last 2 touch points, and we've already kind of talked about these, but beginning of the year magnets, you can do these still now, but these are a great idea. Thank you, Cassie, for mine that I got in the mail this weekend. Beginning of the year magnets. These are refrigerator magnets. It can be any different theme. It doesn't have to be the calendar for the year. I've seen agents have done the household measurement conversion chart on a magnet. People have done the holidays for the year. People have done the Orioles and the Ravens. So Dennis always does the Orioles magnet every spring. So that's his magnet for the year that he sends out is the Orioles magnet. If you know you have a lot of people that are Commanders fans, don't send out an Orioles magnet, right? Send them a Commanders magnet. But it can also be a wine pairing list, a beer pairing list. It can be top local restaurants. It can, whatever you want it to be. You can create a custom magnet or you can use one of the magnets that are free to create. One of the easiest ones to use is magnetsusa.com. Magnet Street was another one. And Canva also does magnets for you as well. and Markville. So there are so many different places you guys can get magnets. Right now, most places have them on sale. So right here, 40% off 2025 calendars on markville.com. I can hit shop calendars and there's all the different calendars. Some of the ones that I've always liked are the tear off ones and I know whom a lot of times would use these too, either home decorator tips, there's curb appeal, there's recipes. Jim used to send out the recipe ones. So, but you want it to be, it's something that people are going to leave around, put on their refrigerator and keep for the year. So the tear off ones are cool because every month it's something different that they're tearing off. Here's the annual calendars. So, and it tells you the price, you personalize it right in here and they mail them out to you. Here's the Orioles, the Nationals, the Phillies. These are your baseball calendars, right? Or you can build you can do your own custom uploads. So your calendars and then your holiday cards. Some people will pair their calendars with their holiday card. So when they send out their holiday card, the calendar magnet is in there with the holiday card, and they do that every year. So whatever it is, however you want to do it, create a plan and then systematize it. Make sense? So now if you flip to this sheet that I gave out, that was the 3-pack sheet. It's like colored gray. The top sheet is where you guys are going to build your own marketing plan. The second sheet gives you an idea, samples of a marketing plan. So you can kind of look at the two side by side. And then the third one just gives you some tips on ways to build your database, people to think about to put in your database. So if I skip down to that page, that third sheet in your database, how to get people added or collect contact information. What groups or clubs are you or were you in, or are your kids involved in, your church? People to consider, friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances, professional contacts, website visitors, leads, prospects, and clients. Again, learn as much as you can about your people. So every morning, and this is one thing that Ninja Selling teaches you, every morning when you go on social media, as part of your marketing plan, you want to be extremely intentional about it. So you're searching through your people and you're looking for what? You're looking for things, especially this time of year, things like engagement announcements, wedding announcements, new baby announcements, kids graduating high school this year, right? Who has kids that are graduating high school this year? I'm looking for it online. I'm paying attention to those things, right? Those are opportunities, marketing opportunities. Brian Buffini tells the story of the past client of his he saw posted on Facebook about his daughter getting ready, preparing mentally for his daughter to leave for college, and how difficult this was and how much more difficult it was than what he anticipated, right? And how he's just really having a hard time with it. Brian Buffini went and ordered a book about whatever the book was, preparing for your daughter or your child to leave for college, empty nesting, whatever it was, put it in an envelope with a handwritten note and mailed it out to the client. People will take that and they will post it on Facebook, right? They'll take pictures of it. They'll contact you. They'll reach out. That one book, him listening, or even just a handwritten note card. It didn't even have to be mailing him a book. Send him a handwritten note card, right? And say, hey, Cindy, it's Tina. I saw on Facebook that, you're having a really tough time, getting ready for your daughter to leave for college. I know what that's like. I'm there myself, right? How can you connect with them? Or I can only imagine what that's like. I'm not there yet, but I will be soon. Just wanted to let you know, I'm thinking about you. If you ever want to grab a cup of coffee, I would love to catch up, right? Just that little extra, that little note, whether it gives you an opportunity to send a handwritten note, to send a gift or a pop-by item that's relevant to what they're going through, that right there, that one touch point will go so much farther than anything else that you could possibly do for them. So keep those things in mind. When you're on social media and you're scrolling to comment on people's posts, to pay attention, let them know you're paying attention, right? And then look for opportunities to send handwritten note cards or do some unexpected extras for people. So that should be built into your marketing plan as well, your social media, but you need to be very intentional about it. 20 minutes on and get out, right? We're not getting stuck there for hours and all day and turning it into an all day thing. So if you guys want, take some time, write down at a minimum, I'd love to see at a minimum 2 things a month or 1 thing a month on here for your marketing plan based on what you know your budget is. The other things that we didn't touch on that you do want to pay attention to and add into here would be in November, I would recommend doing a reverse pie party. So I know you guys, some of you know what the reverse pie party is. Reverse pie party is a reverse pop by where you hold an event and they come to you. So the pie party one is one that a lot of agents that are going to do this, they do it the weekend before Thanksgiving and they send out an invitation. It can be an email invitation or a paper invitation, whatever you want it to be, to your database, inviting them out to get a small gift from you, a token of your appreciation for their Thanksgiving dinner, and it's a pie. And they can pick, do they want pumpkin or apple or pumpkin or cherry? You pick whatever. You don't have to go crazy with a bunch of different flavors. But a lot of agents will go to either a local bakery that they want to support and promote, or Costco. So Marissa Henn does this. She's made it her annual client appreciation party, and it's huge. She does it at her house. Dennis used to do it at his house. A lot of agents will do it here at the office now on the Saturday morning before Thanksgiving. And it's a free space. That way you don't have to have clients out to your house or, pay for a place to do it at. You can invite them out, have light refreshments. If you're doing it here on a Saturday morning, have like donuts or pumpkin spice donuts and coffee or cookies, whatever you want. Make it easy and light. Give them a window. Stop by between 11 and 1 or 9 and 11 to grab a light refreshment, and your gift, your pie for your Thanksgiving dinner. And then that's it. It's that simple. So when you hold an event, guys, keep in mind, this gives you how many potential touch points out of your 32 out of one event can you get? When you hold an event, whether it's a reverse pie party or a client appreciation event, whatever you want to call it, how many out of your 32 annual touch points does one event at a minimum give you for your clients?
Hell, you could even text us, say, hey, you didn't get my phone call,
Right.
my message, having an event on this day.
Yeah.
The event itself, maybe a thank you note.
Yes.
after the event.
Thank
for
you.
coming to my
Yeah,
party.
so I would say 4 to 5 touch points. 4 to 5 touch points at over 2 months for one event that you're hosting. And if you do the reverse pie party and you do it here, it costs you only what it costs you to mail out the invitation and the pie that you're buying, which if you go to Costco, I think they're like $6.99.
Okay.
They got expensive.
That's
Stamps 10. That's
unless you
crazy.
get pecan's like 12, but the pumpkin was like 6. Yeah.
So $6 to $10, depending on where you're getting your pie from. So if I'm inviting 30 people out for $10 a pie, $300, right? I'm hosting a client appreciation event for $300 plus my donuts or my coffee or my cookies and cider, whatever, right? So say $400 on the high side. Yes, yes. And remember, guys, what do we give you every time you close a deal with our mortgage or title?
Well, if you use
Marketing.
I know I have money I need to use.
Marketing money, right? So if you close a deal with our mortgage and title, if you close with either one in a transaction, mortgage or title, you get $50 in marketing money to bank or use after that transaction closes. If you use both in a transaction, mortgage and title, it normally would be 50 and 50, right? We're doubling it, 100 and 100. You're getting $200 for that one transaction in marketing money to use or bank to save for a client appreciation event. So you could potentially, and if you partner with our lender team and you close deals with them, they will partner with you on this event. So they'll either help pay for the refreshments or help put money and split the pies with you on the pies. If you PRMI will actually do the pies. They'll create the invitation for you, everything. The pies actually come with a tag, a pop by tag on the pie. That's some cute little message about whatever, using us this year, or thank you for your business. And it has both you and the loan officer on it. The loan officer will split that cost with you in half. So there are so many ways to get that marketing cost down even farther so that you're not necessarily paying for the whole event. As it grows, I would encourage you to take it maybe out of here to someplace else. Dennis used to do like taco bar parties at his house on a Friday night, and it was his reverse pie party. Marissa does hers the Saturday before Thanksgiving at her house. Now hers is like, it's pretty legit, but it's grown to this. It didn't start this way, right? It started out as her making food and having sangria and a fire pit and inviting people out to come pick up their pie. And as it grew and her business grew, now she has a food truck. So she has a food truck every year. This year she had live music. So she had a performer, a guy singing and playing the guitar, live music, dancing. She had like, I don't even know how many fire pits she had, 6, 7 fire pits around her yard. I know, right? That's what she said. She said, my issue is not the party and the people. The issue is my yard's getting too small. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I think Jeff said she bought over 100 pies this year. Her biggest one ever. I know, right? And so what you do is when you send out the invitation, you ask people to RSVP with the flavor of pie that they want, right? And that way, you know, that day, because the pies it's not like you can buy them and store them and keep them for like weeks, right? You can only keep them for a couple days. So then what Marissa does is she puts in her order, she calls Costco or wherever she's getting her pies from and tells them, hey, I need this many apple pies, this many pumpkin pies. I'm coming to pick them up Friday night or Saturday morning. This is the date. And they know they'll pull them out and they'll have them set aside for her. So when you get to that, you know, you want to make sure they have the pies available that you need. So the touch points, right? You're going to have your save the date, your invitation, your text or call or reminder, right? There's 3 right there. I recommend calling anybody that did not RSVP, texting everybody that did RSVP, reminding them of the event itself, and then the follow-up thank you for coming to the event. 5 touches, guys, from one party, one event. And those 5 touches cost you next to nothing other than the party itself and the cost of the party itself. So just keep that in mind when you're planning. So that would be a November, that's you see it on here. On the sample one, it's on here as the pie party. Save the date or a pie party. Some people do it in the summer. Whom does a reverse pop by or client appreciation, and Marissa's done this too. It's an ice cream social. So pick a cute little local family owned ice cream shop, or there's one in Arbutus, the Ice Cream Cottage, or Whom's done it at like, what's the,
He did the ice cream, didn't he?
yeah, he did ice cream.
He does a steak, he does pumpkin
He's done a bowling party. He's done a pumpkin patch party. He really does the annual client appreciation events and does them religiously. So yeah, he's done Nottingham's, a holiday party at Nottingham's in Columbia, which is a restaurant bar area. I know he's done the bowling parties. The bowling parties I'm not as big of a fan of, and he would tell you this as well, because what happens when you go bowling? You all spread out, right? Yeah. So everybody's all spread out in different lanes. So he, as the host, has to go from lane to lane to lane, you know, networking with everybody. But it's a little bit tougher, and not everybody's networking with each other or seeing, you know, spending time with each other. The pumpkin patch party is a really cute one. The ice cream social is a good one. But yeah. Miniature golf. I mean, you could do miniature golf somewhere, but those are, you know, it's just a matter of what you want to do and what your budget allows. So just some things to think about. Your goal, your next step is to take this marketing plan and, in alignment with your budget for this year and your goals, fill it out and put something on here for each month. And the reason why I like this and the sample is a lot of agents won't actually do it on a year. They won't look at the year and actually plan it out. but you want to plan out your whole year. And then you're going to schedule in your planner. So hopefully you guys see how everything one leads to the next, to the next, to the next, right? So we started in October, November, December with our business plans, our goal setting, and our budgets. Now we're taking our budget and our goals and we're rolling that into our marketing plan, which our budget dictates our marketing plan. And then from our marketing plan, this rolls over to our planner and our time blocking, because then each month we're going to time block each of these activities, right? And we're going to plan when we're implementing each of these activities. If it's the emails, done, right? If you've set up KV Core and you have on here holiday emails, those are done for you. You don't need to time block that, except for the first time when you connect it and link it, and it takes you 2 minutes to do that. So that's an easy one. But in here, I would be time blocking time for my birthday cards and anniversary cards. I would be time blocking my monthly mailers. The last piece I'll add in is you can utilize a resource to send these out for you if you choose to. My argument is not quite as personal. However, you can use send out cards, send out, I think it's, well, I'm talking about like birthday cards,
Oh,
send out cards. Yes, I know, I agree. But for some of us where our time maybe is a little bit more limited and we have a little bit less time to devote to implementation, there are ways you can automate it. So sendoutcards.com you can set it up and it will send out cards for you automatically, birthday cards, whatever you want to send out. So you could utilize this system if you wanted to. And then your postcards or other things like that. So RSP USA, Reminder Media, Prospects Plus will all automate your marketing for you to your sphere of influence based on closings or listings that go active, those sorts of things that you want to send out. But those are a little bit more difficult to plan out, right? Because you don't necessarily know when you're going to have a listing that you want to do. So I wouldn't count your RSP and your Reminder Media or your Prospects Plus in this unless your Reminder Media is marketing that's going out to your database every month, right? So Reminder Media is a cool one. Some of you use this for your magazines. So if you're doing your personally branded magazines, those may be bi-monthly or quarterly. Put those into your business plan, into your marketing plan. They should be in your marketing plan. But Reminder Media also does postcards as well. So you could do postcards. So you have to kind of really decide what your marketing is going to look like before you can decide what automated tools you're going to use to help with your marketing. Make sense? Yes. Sure, ask them. Bring them all.
So, briefly, sorry.
Nice, yeah.
So I thought about- and how- this thing,
Uh-huh.
there's about 1,200 things. So
Houses?
one- Yeah.
Okay.
areas.
Yep.
But this is a little big to become.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
I should cut that.
So, yes, I mean, what you can do is, so when you farm your neighborhood, and there are some tips in here for farming a neighborhood, but when you farm a neighborhood, you have to commit the budget to doing it every single month. Consistency is key and long-term. Farming is just, right, it's exactly what the definition of farming is. It takes time, right? So a couple things. Did you make sure, what I recommend when I teach the farming class, and RSP USA has a really cool tool that will help you take a look at this, but you want to look at a couple different things. And I love farming your neighborhood. because you, in theory, have a presence and maybe know people there already. So you want to start closest to your house and move out from there. So if your neighborhood is really big and maybe the outskirts of the neighborhood or the farthest parts of the neighborhood from you that you maybe don't have as much of a connection to, you could cut out. So you could start with a radius from your house and grow it as your budget grows. That's one way to do it, but the consistency is key. The other way to do it is based on your budget, right? Start with your budget and figure out how many houses you can mail to within your budget. You can also use a tool called Every Door Direct Mail through the post office.
I landed on, I think that's part of it.
Okay.
But this is my dilemma. So, I joined the neighborhood because there was a lot going on that I wasn't aware of. They were giving out grants for beautification and nobody on my side of the neighborhood got it because we didn't know anything about it, right?
Yeah.
And we just started seeing these fruit trees pop up. We was like, "What's going on?" Anyway, did a little digging, found out that the neighborhood association got these grants and we didn't know anything about it. I started going to the meetings to join the neighborhood.
Nice.
So
Good job.
now I am the block cat for my block. And I
Okay.
think,
That's
okay,
even
I
better.
think this works my.
Yeah.
Maybe people are letting go.
Uh-huh.
Well, they say you're not allowed to do that. Because there's a person, who's also a block captain that runs a landscaping business. And Tina, they want a lot from them.
Yeah.
Like. I took
So
over
when they
an
say you're
hour.
not allowed to do that, what do they mean? Do what?
So,
Can you wear your name badge every single time you go to a meeting or every time you do? Okay.
yeah, I can do that.
Right.
But.
Or a
they,
shirt.
there's- Contact cards, they mail everybody these contact cards, they said, okay, now it's the block captain's responsibility to go around and make sure everybody encourage these people. So now I'm going knocking on, I've never done this for real estate, by the way.
Yeah.
But these people have me knocking on doors, making sure that the contact card. So this guy says, oh yeah, while he was doing it, he was pushing his landscaping. business. And it got back to the committee some kind of way, and they were like, that wasn't the hat you were wearing at the time, that's not what you actually.
So they wanted you to separate because, and I can see where they're coming from. So where they're coming from is if I'm door knocking and I can liken this to something else in a second, but if I'm the block captain representing our neighborhood and I'm door knocking and people know me as the block captain and I'm door knocking, the reason why the HOA has created this role of block captain is so that people will respond to you, right? So that they will get these information cards filled out, or when there's information they have to deliver, they want to make sure it's going to get delivered, because if people see you, they want them to associate you with block captain for the HOA, not, oh geez, is she door knocking me for real estate or is she door knocking me for the neighborhood? And now I'm not going to answer, right? Because, and I'll liken it to this. Jim and I have had this experience in the past several times, and we've had agents that have done this and mixed these two things. Multi-level marketing. We've had realtors or broker friends who got involved with energy sales or multi-level marketing. And these brokers or agents who, anytime they used to call us, we would always take their call because we help each other out, And so if I know that Banana Realty broker is calling me, it's because we help each other out. They have a question, or I'm going to take their call. But now if Banana Realty broker is also in energy sales and multi-level stuff, and they call me and they say, hey, Tina, it's me, can you give me a call back? I just want to talk to you about a couple things. Guess what? One, I'm dodging their call. And two, I'm probably not calling them back, because now I don't know whether they're calling me to sell me multi-level stuff or get me involved or have me come out to a presentation, or whether they're calling me because they have a real estate question. So now I've just lost a little bit of integrity, respect, professionalism for that individual, because I don't know what are they calling me because there's something in it for them, or are they calling me because we have this relationship?
The woman now, and my face is, and you see me at a meeting or you see me walking in the neighborhood filling out my little form you need to fill out. I feel like I joined because I do want to know what's going on in the neighborhood.
Right.
Also, the light bulb went off. Oh God, I'm gonna read all this.
Uh-huh. How long are you how long are you block captain for?
Forever.
What?
Because they can't get anybody to. And not only,
Yeah.
and not
I thought you were gonna say for a year and then somebody else steps.
They
Then,
have assigned me.
no, then I would either say to them, this has to be mutually beneficial. So if this is the case and I can't market my business, I'm a business owner and so is the landscaping person and I get it, but we either have to find a way to make this mutually beneficial or I'm gonna have to step down as block captain. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, that's one way to go about it. The other way to go about it is do your mailers into people's houses and market the neighborhood. And then when you're door knocking, so here's my question for you. Would you, or do you have intention to door knock for your real estate business? Okay. So keep the door knocking separate. When you door knock, maybe wear your name badge or wear a Hyatt and Company real estate polo, fleece, jacket, beanie cap, whatever. But only ever talk about when you're door knocking, it's just about neighborhood. So when people see you at their door, it's always about neighborhood stuff. They know it's never real estate stuff. But, oh, by the way, you see my logo, you see my name badge, you see my magnets on my car when I'm parked in my driveway. Also, they're getting your mailer into their houses, which you can do. Anybody can mail into any house. They can't, that's public domain. Their mailing addresses are public property. So do your market dominator or whatever you're doing into their home. But when you're door knocking, that's always just neighborhood related and keep them separate. And I would tell the HOA, I will not market myself when I'm door knocking, other than maybe if I'm wearing branded clothing, which I wear all the time because I'm a business owner. They can't tell you what you can't wear. Oh, all right. So wear your name badge. So wear your name badge on the other side. Yeah. Yeah. Get a hat, wear a name badge. Always wear your name badge because that also identifies you to people, right? You look more professional when you're wearing a name badge. Cassie, I love it. Always be wearing your name badge. I mean, that's general rule of thumb for marketing yourself anyway. I teach that in every marketing class I teach. I can't tell you how many people Jim's recruited or clients he's picked up just by when he used to wear his name badge everywhere he went. Home Depot, wear a name badge because when you're standing at the paint counter at Home Depot, who's at the paint counter around you? Homeowners, contractors, investors, all around you. I mean, I had an investor approach me at the paint counter in Home Depot because I was wearing my name badge and I think I had on a logoed shirt or whatever. And I was talking about something with somebody, I don't know. And this investor approached me and he was a rehabber, a flipper. I mean, it happens. The person at the grocery checkout line, always go to a person as opposed to self-checkout. If you can, if you're at Target, if you're at the grocery store, if you're at Costco, anywhere you're at, I know a lot of people tend to just go the route of least resistance, right? But there's a couple reasons why I'm a huge proponent of going to the people, right? One, it keeps people paid and in jobs, but right, exactly. I'm paying yes, that's another one. But also when I'm wearing my name badge or my branded shirt and my name badge, and I'm talking to a person at the register counter, and I'm also not going to the person at the register that looks like they're 16. I'm going to the one that looks like they're in their 30s or 40s, right? Why? Because they probably have bought or sold houses or might be buying or selling houses or might have kids that might buy or sell their house. 16, 17, 18-year-old, they're not even thinking about it, right? So those are the kind of things to think strategically about. If you're farming your neighborhood, you absolutely should have car magnets on your car, or if not car magnets, your back window should be wrapped. I mean, I think that it's a great idea to have the logo or your brand and your logo, or I'm a realtor, Ruth Ann has the keys and the sold sign and stickers on her car, your magnets. It's what tells people who you are. I'll never forget. He just about lost his ever loving mind when at our old house, for sale signs started popping up in the neighborhood, right? And he's like, we had a moving truck parked in the driveway. But here's the thing. He never sent mailers to anybody on our street. So you can't be mad at people listing with other people when you never asked them to list with you. And just because they see your magnets on your car, you cannot take for granted that they know or will pick up the phone and call you. People won't, right? Unless you're asking for the order. So I would say if what you're doing with the HOA conflicts with or is being or your marketing for your business is being restricted by that, not augmented by that, then you need to make a decision. Is this benefiting? Is this serving my goals and my purpose? Or is it restricting and prohibiting my goals and my purpose? And if it is the other, then I would step out of that role and I would just start marketing the shit out of your neighborhood. I mean, bottom line. Excuse my language. Got 'em. Right. No, you don't have to use the office address, but
I figured they say your neighbor.
you
And then I
do.
get business cards from my clients.
To your clients and people you know, yes. I would be very careful doing it to strangers. Like you wouldn't put your home address, I hope you wouldn't, on a farming mailer that you're sending out to a farming neighborhood. They don't,
It's not the same as, like,
So-
the card says, I'm your neighbor.
Right, but yeah, you could do a post office box. But here's the other thing, you don't even have to have a return when you're sending things first class, or now I don't know, like they don't have a return address on like this Market Dominator system postcard. I don't see a return address on here anywhere. Your office address or an address is not mandatory, especially when you're sending things first class. So depending on, I would maybe check with the Market Dominator. You may not even need to put a return address on any of these mailers. Like, I don't see, here's the postage. Do what? But this, right, exactly. Or if this, the Market Dominator, I don't know what you're looking to use. I really like the Market Dominator. One of our old agents, she moved on from moved out of state now, but she used the Market Dominator, the trifold, and swore by it. I mean, this one, 200 pieces for $1 a piece, or $1.04, or $1 a piece, depending on which one you choose. The exclusive, the Market Dominator exclusive gives you exclusivity in your neighborhood, and it's every door direct mail carrier routes. So you pick, so it is every door direct mail, and you pick your carrier routes for your neighborhood. But they send it out using every door direct mail. I don't know that you need, it's mail it standard class, first class, or shipped to you for this one, the Market Dominator. So again, when you do first class, you don't need a return address on there. So if you're saying, if your logo or you're putting on your marketing, your neighborhood realtor, you're putting your name or what's the name of your neighborhood? Your Ashburton neighbor and realtor, or your Ashburton neighborhood realtor. I would put in your message somewhere that not only do I live here, I have a vested interest in our neighborhood. So wherever you can put that your own little message, or if it's in your signature block on your mailing panel, whatever you're doing, but I would put that on every one of your mailers, that, you've lived here for X amount of years, that you're a neighbor with a vested interest in protecting their property values and homeownership interests, or the neighborhood property values and homeownership interests, or something like that. Right. I would be very clear that you live here, because there's a lot of people that say I'm your neighborhood realtor that don't live in the neighborhood. They just farm that neighborhood and they've sold. I know. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. But if you're doing these systems, every door direct mail, I mean, yeah, 1,200 is a lot, or if you do a postcard system.
I like your idea of when I shrink it to start with the house.
Uh-huh.
to-
Yeah, for me, I think it's more impactful for you to do 200 if that's your budget, if that's within your budget. Mailers like this, Market Dominator, Trifold, legit mailers. And maybe you only do them, they don't have to be every month. Maybe do them quarterly, and in the in-between months, send out other things. Send out, just the Buffini Popeye mailers that are maybe cheaper. I don't know. You have to really do the math and see what's cheap, what's most beneficial. But it says fresh content updated every month. So if you could allot $200 a month, I would start with the 200 houses closest to you with these really nice mailers and start sending those out. And then, and commit to the consistency of 1 year. I'm going to do this for 1 year. And then after 1 year, you can analyze it and see, did this make sense? Is it, this says the average size of a carrier route when using every door direct mail is about 500. That doesn't apply. I mean, you already know you have 1,200 addresses in your neighborhood. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
What other questions? Because you said you had
That
multiple.
was good.
I mean, and you might be able to, if you can do, so if you can do this bifold community newsletter, community news once, I don't know, it's up to you, either every other month, then maybe in the in-between months, maybe you do postcards.
And that's another thing. And give my neighborhood, the people I'm assigned to, this community thing every time it comes out. For them. So I can't put Cindy Wiley Realtor on it.
I would say can I sponsor it? I'll pay for the printing.
That's
If I can sponsor it and put my information on there, put a small little ad on the back corner or something, I'll pay for the printing. And I'll deliver it
well, to my area.
to your block.
See, if I sponsor it, then I want it to go out to the broad community, right?
So yeah, I mean, maybe ask that, maybe
Part
part,
of Black Hat is out there.
right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And maybe you help come up with an annual sponsorship package for business owners that live in the neighborhood, and that it's an exclusive benefit to neighbors that live in the neighborhood and participate on the HOA, right? Because there should be a benefit to you guys for participating on the HOA, because you're giving up your time. It is, I know. Yeah.
And still, if they don't know anything.
Mhm.
I spent
Oh, yeah.
I could go on.
Yeah. Then yes, I mean, then that's what I think, I think that so you come up with a proposal. Say, instead of saying that this isn't allowed, how about we take advantage of the opportunity and to promote the businesses of the neighbors that live in our neighborhood and that volunteer their time to support the HOA.
And the reason why the newsletter is not about money, that's the cost. So that's.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. So if you and the landscaper, for example, the two of you each split a little back page quarter page ad or something, or you get it every time the newsletter is created. And for that, the two of you will split the cost of printing the newsletter for the year. I don't know, it's just an idea. Or you get a flyer insert in the newsletter. I don't know how big the newsletter is,
It's like a one page.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, good. Any other questions on your marketing plan? So I just want to make sure this summary sheet sums up best, not this one, the other one that I pulled up, the remember sheet, remember to stay top of mind and consistent. If you can if you take away nothing else, it's your database has to be growing every year. You should be adding new people to it every year so that the number grows. I would say, can you capture email addresses for the people in your HOA too? If there's a way for you to capture their email addresses and
Feel like if I blast them for real estate email.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
yeah. So, and I mean, another couple things you could do is, can you create a neighborhood Facebook page, Facebook group, a private neighborhood Facebook group for people to join? And then, yeah, advertise on Nextdoor. I would definitely, if that's,
I'm already.
okay, awesome. But, so social media, connecting with people, you can connect with them on social media, Cindy. You can friend request them on social media, your neighbors. There's nothing that says you can't do that. And does everybody know you can search Facebook by an email address? Yeah, and a phone number. So Cindy, if you have their email addresses, you can search Facebook based on an email address. And if they have an email account, a Facebook account set up with that email address, then it'll pull them up. It'll pull up their page. Hers does not. I was hoping that would be a nice example, but it's not. Anyway, so you can search by Facebook, by phone numbers or email addresses too, and connect with them on Facebook. Start to become their friend, right? The best way to build your sphere of influence and to build your impact in your neighborhood is not just sending a mailer to their houses. I think part of the benefit that I see of you being on the HOA and participating in the HOA is the opportunity to build relationships with people, to connect with them. And if you're in it, so here's, so you can't say if you're in an HOA meeting or a community meeting or whatever, and you can't market and market yourself, right? You don't want to necessarily, it's kind of tacky. But if a question comes up or a topic comes up that there is a real estate related impact on the neighborhood, can you raise your hand and say, can I share my professional opinion, or can I share the real estate? Now, you don't want to do this every meeting because people will get annoyed by it, or can you raise your hand and say, I'd like to give another perspective that I don't think has been thought about yet. If we are giving these grants for neighborhood beautification, that's going to increase property values for everybody that's in that part of the neighborhood that's been beautified, right? Real estate appraisers use the entire neighborhood a lot of times for appraisal values. So if just that side of the neighborhood is getting beautified and those property values we're trying to increase, but this neighborhood doesn't know about the grants and doesn't have any trees planted and hasn't been beautified, when the appraiser pulls these property values for these homes on this side of the neighborhood, their appraisal will be impacted by these properties. So we want to make sure we're beautifying the entire neighborhood, and we're trying to equally disseminate the trees and the grants and everything else, because everybody's property values will raise if we do that.
They talk about the vacant properties, listed properties, they talk about that kind of stuff, and I also wonder,
Right. I would just ask.
now it's just going to
Right.
the internet.
I would ask, but I would also, maybe you come or maybe you propose, I would like to add a segment to this market update part of the meeting where I can bring and share current property value or market values. So average home sale price in the last month, if any sold. So if we had any that sold in the neighborhood, I'll share average home sales price, average days on the market, whether seller concessions were offered or not, and the comparison of our property values to other surrounding neighborhoods with similar homes. Because that is something that you can pull up and share that maybe not everybody else in the room is able to pull up. Exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah, you can prepare a market update report. And share that information. And so, and I don't even have to put my name necessarily on that flyer, but when I show up, I'm wearing my name badge and I'm introducing myself, Cindy Wiley. I live on Maple Street. And I just wanted to share this month's market update. Or I prepared this month's market update using MLS data from last month. What did I just say to you? I just told you I'm a realtor without telling you I'm a realtor, right? So how can you answer questions, share information, share resources so that you are showing your value, like Cassie said, without having to speak your marketing? Make sense? Because then people are going to automatically start to look to you as the neighborhood expert on all things real estate related.
What do you guys usually meet? Do you meet monthly? So we meet monthly for something. The big community meeting, right? But during the quarter, the last meeting, it's what she like like in the news, like that we get from Maryland Realtors.
Market stats. Yeah. You could share the market stats.
Share city and maybe Baltimore City. Just I'm gonna offer that and just like share that because we get you should get an email from and then it's page,
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
Instead of
And-
giving it that.
Yeah. And that's what I would propose. I would just propose and I would just say, because you guys are already have shown interest in doing a market update at these meetings, let me be the one to pull the data and present the data for you to make sure that it's the most accurate, most up-to-date data that I can pull. And I can pull our neighborhood, our county, city, and then state of Maryland. So you can see the comparison and answer any questions. I won't market myself. I won't, I'll just share the data, but from a professional's opinion, right? The other thing that I was going to say is, Cindy, you could also, well, I mean, it's marketing. I was going to say there are market updates in KV Core that you can present or prepare. So if I go to the design center in here, you could create a flyer and there's a market update flyer that you can create in here as well. So you could even create it. If they'll let you, if they want you to hand out something, I would say if you want me to hand it out as a handout at the meetings, I'm happy to do the market update as a handout and then just have your contact information on there. That would be another way to get it out. But if you go in here into KV Core, do you have KV Core, right? Okay. So if I search market update, here's all the market updates. So there's a couple different designs. There's postcard designs, but these are flyer designs. So I can go in here and I can create one of these flyers and I can hand the same one out every month. So if I put it in here, so it's pulling it up, here's the month. So it would be February 2025. And then you just fill in the details. Average sold price, average days on the market, how many closed, how many pending, how many are available. And then you could pass this out every month and your information's down at the bottom. And I would put a photo up here. I would change this from city name and I would put in the Ashburton. Community or neighborhood, whatever you want it to be. And then the photo in the background, I would make that a photo of Ashburton community. So just either take one yourself or go online. Which one was it? That was their website.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you could either use, you could use a picture off of the website. I wouldn't use people's faces or kids' faces, obviously. But that first one of the sign coming into the neighborhood, I like this look. That's a cool one. That one's cute for the fall, that would be cute for the fall one, or here's spring. And it shows the street names, right? So people know here's winter. I mean, there's great images, and because it's on their website, these are public images that you can use. Just again, I would steer away from faces and people. Oh, okay. Hmm, that's pretty cool. So I could save that image, right? And this could be the cover image for my newsletter design. So, I mean, you get where I'm going, but this logo, I like this logo too. I would maybe even use that logo if that's one that they use for the community that's
Yeah.
recognizable. Okay, so you're welcome. What else? Anything else I can help you guys with? Okay. The goal is to do it. So what I would say is in priority, so priority of budget, the rule of thumb is database first and foremost, always. These are people you already have a relationship with that already know you, like you, and trust you, and they are going to be most likely to refer you out. So getting and staying top of mind first and foremost with your own database is number one priority. Number two, and what you fill in with the remainder of your budget is farming, because that's going to take longer. It's typically more expensive, and it takes longer. So it's going to take you longer to start seeing an ROI for farming than it will for marketing to your database. Yeah.
Celery.
Yeah. Bye, Millicent. Thank you. Hopefully this was helpful.